main landmark.
Hello, everyone. This is Awesome Sauce Radio. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a beautiful and blessed Wednesday evening. I'm your host, Blind Adam Wonders, the comic pimp. And before we bring in our special guest for this evening, I'd like to thank the Exotica Expo for sponsoring this episode. The Exotica Expo returns to the New Jersey Convention Center October 25th, 26th, and 27th. Of course, the 25th, that Friday, is their infamous free ladies' night. So all the ladies, please come Friday. And meet all your favorite adult entertainers, meet and greets, photo ops, after parties, seminars, all the amazing events that they do at exoticaexpo.com. Tell them what I'm sent you. It returns to the New Jersey Convention Center October 25th, 26th, and 27th. So exoticaexpo.com to get your tickets. It is a great event. And now my guest tonight is legendary. She's sexy. She's talented. Coralyn Jewel, welcome to the show.
Hi, honey. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I am doing good.
You made me sad talking about Exotica because I can't go this year. So sad.
Yeah, I'm going to miss you this year.
I know. That's my birthday. This October 24th is my birthday, and then the 25th. And usually we celebrate in New Jersey every year, and I won't be able to go because I'll be getting the knife cut open in my back.
I was looking at the guest list earlier. There's lots of people on the guest list who I normally see every year that I have not seen on the list yet.
Hopefully nobody else is getting surgery too.
I hope it's all good stuff.
Yeah, I'll miss you guys this year. I'll catch you on the next round, hopefully.
Hopefully I'll be in your neck of the woods for January for ABNs.
Oh, yeah. And I'm hopefully should be good by then. That's 3 months recovery. So.
Yes. So how long have you been in the adult entertainment industry now?
I've been in the industry since 2013 or I think 2013 I got in the industry, but I started in 2009 when I was still married. I started webcamming, custom videos, stuff like that, and then transitioned over after finding a job on Sexy Jobs as a production assistant and camera operator. So I started on the other side of the camera first and then switched.
Oh, wow. So how long was it before you went from behind the camera to in front of the camera?
So when I was working as a production assistant, I did that. I was driving up to LA, and I probably did that for about a year. And it was actually the male talent on set that said to me, "I don't know why you aren't a performer. You should be on this side of the camera." And I was 36 years old, and I was like, "No, I'm too old." And he's like, "No, you're not. Trust me, get onto the side of the camera." And so I started to research it and decided to take a chance. So that's when it started, 2014, I think.
Oh, wow. And you said you found the assistant job on Sexy Jobs?
Yeah, it was a job on Sexy Jobs. At the time, they were just looking for a production assistant. And then it transitioned into, I was kind of the everything: production assistant, hiring the talent, makeup, wardrobe, director, camera operator, everything on set. So, and I did it, like I said, for a year. I would drive up to LA 2 to 3 times a week.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I'm going to have to, because I've seen Sexy Jobs come up in Google searches, and I just never gave them a chance to even see how that worked for hiring people.
What I could say about it is that there's a lot of scams on it, just like anything on the internet. Yep. So you have to do your due diligence, and if somebody contacts you on there, get their phone number, run their background check. Are they who they say they are? Do they have any models or performers that they've worked with? Are they following protocol, standards, testing, stuff like that? Because I've gotten good work off of there, and I've also, seen a lot of scams on there. So.
All right, so it's just like everywhere else on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
The internet was born for suckers, unfortunately, sometimes.
It's sad because, people just take advantage. And so you just got to know, you got to know how to do your due diligence. You got to know how to make sure that the job is real, that somebody's real, and then there's what we call a guy with camera, GWC, and I don't have a problem with that, as long as I know that they're safe and we know that, they're paying you for your time and your content. So.
Oh, yeah. So what are some of the studios that you've worked with over the years?
Gosh, it makes me sad. A lot of them are gone now, but I've done a lot of work with Devil Films, Rookie Nookie, Hot Moms.
Hot Mouse is gone.
I think they are gone. Yeah.
That's a
Who else?
shame.
I worked for Adam and Eve. I did a movie, Wife Swinger Swap 3 for them. MILF Hunter, so Team Skeet and Perv Nana. And who else? A lot. I mean, I think I have like 50 something films out there with just production companies. So
That is awesome. MILF Hunter is still around too.
MILF Hunter's still around. And then yeah, because that was when I did I think that was what I did. So you know, like they kind of all like interact together. Like they kind of, so for example, like Team Skeet has their Perv Nana, they have their MILF, you know, like I think they have their MILF Hunter. You know, because I shot with them, and then what was the other one? Shoplifter. That's Team Skeet or MILF Hunter. Who else? I'm trying to think. Oh, Karoop. I remember that was like one of my first was Karoop. Big Gulp Girls was one of my first two with with Scott Reedy, who was my agent at the time. Yeah, a lot. I mean, my favorite for sure was the Wife Swinger Swap 3 for Adam and Eve. That was a 3-day shoot on set with Luke Wilder as the director, and that was my favorite experience.
That's awesome.
Favorite experience and one of my first experiences, which means I got spoiled because nothing ever even comes close to that. So
yes, I love Adam and Eve.
Yeah, it was a great.
They've always been good to me at events.
Yeah, it was a great experience. We got to travel to we went to so at the time I owned a swingers club, and when I was cast in the movie, I actually met Luke at the Penthouse charity event, and he had said to me, "Oh, Coralyn, I wanted to speak with you. I cast you as the lead in my upcoming movie. Are you okay with the swinger lifestyle community?" And I laughed because I said, "I actually own," at the time it was called Hanky Panky. And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I own a swingers club. Where are we shooting?" And he says, "Well, we're going to be filming at Freedom Acres, which is no longer there." And I was like, "Oh, how am I going to explain to the owner of Freedom Acres, who knows me as the swing club owner, that I'm now there shooting a porn on his, the RV location for 3 days?" So it was an interesting experience, but it was fun.
That's amazing. Segueing into the swinger lifestyle, what advice would you give to someone thinking of exploring the swinger lifestyle?
So a couple things I always tell people: if they're a couple looking to get into the lifestyle and they're looking at doing it to save their marriage or save their relationship, it's not going to work. The other thing I tell people is that if you're a couple in the lifestyle or wanting to explore the lifestyle and one of you wants to, but one of you doesn't, it's not going to work. Okay. You've got to be on the same page together. So with that being said, if you're a couple and you both want to do this, I always tell people, remember that sometimes when fantasy meets reality, it's not always what you expect it to be. So that illicit threesome with another woman, and then you have that threesome and it doesn't go as planned. So then you can go back and talk to your partner and say, what did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Do you want to try it again? And what will we change? Okay. So it's really about communication. And then as a single, whether you're a single female or a single male, respect is key. I know a lot of times the single male gets a bad rap, but in my experience from my event, it was single females that caused more of the issues than the single males. Don't think that just because you're a single lady, they say the women run the lifestyle. You do, but you still have to have respect. You still have you're not allowed to go touch without asking. You're not allowed to jump on a bed with somebody playing without asking. The rules apply to everybody. So, really knowing why you're getting into the lifestyle as a single or a couple, the etiquette, learning about it, looking online. There's podcasts, there's blogs. I mean, I have a podcast called Embrace, hosted by Coralyn and Jewel. I have a lot of episodes about the swinger lifestyle community. There's websites to join, and then there's different groups on the website for people that are single males or females. So know what you're looking for, and just, be careful. And again, do your due diligence, because just like there's scammers on sexy jobs, there's scammers in these swinger, websites as well.
Okay. Because every club that I've looked at is like makes it a lot easier for couples than it does singles.
Yeah, they do. I mean, my club, I was one of the few in California that allowed single males. Everybody would go through a screening with me, regardless if you're a couple or a single female or single male. If you were the first time at my party, my door guy would call me over and say, this is your hostess, Coralyn. And then I would give them a tour and, kind of feel them out and give them the rules and the etiquette and let them know that, we've got security and team and we're watching. They always used to say Coralyn has eyes behind her head. So I would always know what was going on. And so you just, if you're a single male, it is more difficult. It is. But a lot of times a lot of clubs will do like a sponsor. So if you know a couple and then a couple's willing to say, I vouch for this single male that he's going to behave and be, and it's just reputation. Everybody, it's a small community. It's a small community, but a big community. So people talk. So just, watch what you do. Be careful. It's like anything in this world,
Okay, it's just like going to a strip club or going to one of the brothels out in Vegas, or
Yeah, I mean, if you do something wrong in a strip club, it's going to get spread around to other clubs, and you won't be able to go. If you disrespect somebody in a brothel, that's going to be told to the other brothel, and so on and so on. So
yeah, like I said, and I just want to, since I even told you this when we met back a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I pride myself on being
new notification from Discord. Me sick.
The handicap ambassador to these worlds. And it's just like, the one club I was privileged to go to in New York.
Okay.
I had to explain to a couple of the girls, like, there's one of the couple there who, I was like, cool, someone wants to come and hang out and play with me. And that's all they did was ask me side questions for like a half an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was just like, okay. They're like, this is the first time we ever saw a blind person in a place.
That's got to be really, really frustrating on your end. You just want to go there and experience, the lifestyle for the experience, and people are constantly asking you questions about the handicap.
Oh, yeah, I mean, and I'm always been the type of person, I have no problem answering these questions, but it's just like, can we go like have fun?
Can we go fuck while we talk about this?
and the one girl was like, can you see my breast? She's like, can you see my tits or not see my tits? And I was like, I can't really see them that much. Can I? And that's one time I felt like a smart blind person for 2 seconds. It's like, can I please have permission to feel what they feel like? I see better with my hands.
I'll tell you,
them to walk away.
I was in Las Vegas, and actually I was at a hotel takeover for a lifestyle event. I think it was a 3-day event, and we were upstairs in one of the playrooms, and I actually met a blind gentleman upstairs. He was from Chicago and was actually a prosecutor, and so we started talking, and we ended up kind of spending the whole weekend together. But I remember saying to him, how do you how do you even know? Why do you want to spend time with me? What do you don't even know what I look like or anything. And he hadn't put his hands on me or touched me or anything. And he says, I feel the vibe of the energy that people put when they're around you. Is that something, does that make sense? Does that kind of
actually, it makes sense. And, there is a vibe and an energy and an aura that a person gives, when they're around people, where you can just sense certain things.
That's kind of what he said. And then when, the next day we went to the pool, and I walked up to him, and before I even could say hey baby, it's Coralyn, I walked up and he was like, there's my girl. And I was like, how do you even know I'm here? How did you know? It's interesting.
Sometimes it just, depending on what level of blindness you have, because there's all different levels of blindness.
He went fully blind at 8 years old.
Okay. So, just a smell, a sniff, a sensation sometimes.
Okay. It's interesting.
I'm for me, I can remember people's height and weight just by them helping me a certain part of the room, just by touch. So it really depends. And then there's comfortability levels around certain environments too.
Right, exactly. I mean, it was interesting, again, like you said, here you are at a lifestyle party, you just want to experience, and here he is at a lifestyle party and just wants to experience, and little me is asking all my questions. Well, how did you get on the airplane? And how did you find your room? And how did you find the lights when you got in your room? And how did you know there was a stair getting up into the bathtub? And he's just like, I just feel. And I'm like,
you see, but to be honest, I've never had those questions. Then when I'm in a strip club, and people and other guys just like, you're faking, aren't you? I
Oh,
get
that's
that
not even
all the time.
faking.
If I don't get at least one person say Exotica or an AVN saying you're faking, you're faking me, I'm blind, I don't feel at home.
Oh wow.
It irritates the living hell out of me.
Oh yeah.
And then my thing is I'll make sure while they're accusing me of faking it, that's when I purposely let myself trip or bump into something.
Uh-huh.
And then they look, then they're like, "We're so sorry. We thought you really were faking it for a minute."
That's fucked up. People are
It's
fucked up.
fucked up, but I just now it's just become a game to, even to the point where the promoters of Exotica just, they're like, one of the ones is like, we're sorry that you get put through shit every year. I'm like, don't worry about it.
Exactly. There's people like me, the nice people that show you where you need to go.
Yeah, and if it's my friends, it's I was like, don't believe everything Evan Stone tells you, because Evan, like, his joke with me is like, yeah, you're faking it. I'm like, yeah, if that's the case, though, why'd you have to help me navigate when I almost walked into something in the hotel at the after party, man?
But that's Evan's personality in general, so he's a joke there anyways. So.
I love him to death.
But yeah, so that's my lifestyle, the lifestyle experience. I always tell people, do your due diligence. Look, there's different websites. Different websites cater to different areas of the country. So, like I always tell people, there's a website called Cassidy. They're actually one of the sponsors of Exotica, and Cassidy is more of a West Coast website, whereas SLS is more East Coast. And STC is very much like if you're traveling to Europe. So it just depends, where you are located.
I guess I'll do my due diligence and start with the East Coast because that's where I'm based.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question being, and this is nice because this ties into it, how important for being in the adult entertainment industry is being on the West Coast nowadays?
So a lot of the industry has changed, in my mind, not for the better. Okay. Production companies are mainly Vegas, Miami, and Los Angeles. However, people can be in the adult industry now and live in Ohio. It doesn't matter where you live, because as long as you get and you have an agent, if you want to do main productions, okay, so then you do what's called a tour. So you come out to Los Angeles for a month at a time. You stay in a model house and you work. But now with the OnlyFans and Loyal Fans and Fansly and all these subscription pages, people can just shoot their own stuff at home with their cell phones and then post it. I don't call that a porn star. I call that a content creator. It's a big difference. But
okay, I was going to ask you, some people don't even notice the difference anymore. Some people, depending on how long you've been in the industry,
yeah,
it's like you're content, cam, porn.
It's really kind of, it's meshed together when you go to the Exoticas and the X-Bizes and stuff. And that's not a bad thing when it's an educational conference, stuff like that. But people, I think the fans need to know there's a really big difference to having your camera sitting on a cell phone with your ring light around it at home, filming and then posting it to a page, versus testing and going to set and being on set all day long and shooting for a main studio. It's a big difference. So you can be a content creator or you can be an adult performer, and that's, I think, where people need to know the difference.
Yeah, and I think there's a point where you can start out as a cam model and then cross over and doing bigger productions.
Yeah, or you could, it really depends on what people are coming into the industry for. If maybe you just want to work from home and be a cam model, and if you put in the time and you put in, it's consistency is key on camming. I don't have that. I'm terrible. So consistency is key, but you can make a very good living doing webcamming. You can make a very good living on your subscription pages, these OnlyFans and stuff, just shooting at home with your partner or solo stuff. It's all about consistency and how you market yourself and stuff like that. Depends how far you want to go in the industry. But no matter what, people need to know, whatever you put on the internet, it's out there forever. It's out there forever. So don't say, oh, I just have an OnlyFans and nobody I know would ever see my OnlyFans. Because yes, they will. Because somebody will steal your OnlyFans content and put it out somewhere else. Because that happens all the time too.
So there's not one time I don't read a story in AVN or XBiz or, school teacher found with an OnlyFans, or nurse found with an OnlyFans, and it was hidden for years. It's like, well, you pissed someone off.
Right, exactly. So I always tell people, if you're going to put it out there on the internet, just make sure you own it. And I mean, own it like, of course, own it, but own it as in like, yeah, so what? You're looking at it. So that's me. Yeah, but you were looking at it. So.
Yeah. And if you haven't like ambitions of you're in college and well, I'll do OnlyFans when I'm only in college and I want to become a school teacher. Maybe you shouldn't do OnlyFans.
Because it might bite you in the ass later on. Exactly. So again, you have to always be able to just know that. So this is what I tell people. I have kids and I had to tell my kids what I did, right? Because I knew sooner or later their friends were going to see me on the internet and go to them and be like, holy freaking crap, I saw your mom on the internet. And I didn't want them to be like, what? Right? So I had to tell them so that they could own it, so that they can say, yeah, and why is your mom not on the internet? Your mom's not hot then, huh? And just walk away before they could say anything. Just walk away, but just make sure that you say, yeah, that's what I do. And what's the problem? Yeah.
Yes. A good friend of mine also had that same approach with her kids.
Mm-hmm. And that's everything. I mean, nowadays, when I go out like in public, I try to dress like down. So, but I mean, I get recognized and I don't really say much. People go, wait a second, you look familiar. And I go, I don't know. And then like, I try to walk quickly before they can say like, wait a second, I know who you are. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I brought my good friend Michaela Cox to the amazing Las Vegas Comic-Con 2 years ago.
Okay.
And like one of the dealers was just to me anything you want, 50% off on the table. I'm scratching my head because I normally don't get that approach from the first thing. Turns out he recognized who Michaela was just by looking at her.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. But again, just have to own it, Just
and she was
be proud of who you are, be proud of your choices that you make and what you do. So
what's better to give, hand job or blow job?
What do I prefer to give?
Yeah.
Blow job.
Okay.
But only because my hand gets tired.
Oh, okay.
My mouth doesn't get tired, but my hand does. It's funny.
All right. What do you think of all the age verification laws that have been coming about the last year and a half, 2 years?
So that's like it's an interesting subject that I think there's it's still really confusing to me because this is how I look at it, and this is a pretty simple way to look at it. If I want to be a webcam performer, okay, I want to go sign up with Chatterbait, I want to sign up with My Free Cams, I have to give my ID, selfie, prove that it's me, right? Yep. To work legally. Okay. So if I am a viewer and I want to go watch any of this stuff and you have to be 18 years old, I don't understand why it's never been the way that you sign up for a profile as a viewer with your ID it's still, you're still, you don't have to, your wife doesn't know or whatever, but you're showing your age to be a viewer. I'm showing my age to work there. And I don't understand why this has ever been free in the first place. You know what I mean? Like my kids can still, they and all they have to do is log on and it says, are you 18? Yes, I'm 18. And then you can still see stuff, So I don't know why we haven't, but they say it's to protect people's identity, but then why do us as the performers, our identity doesn't matter? Does that make sense? So I don't see the confusion in this. In my mind, it should be, if you walk into a store to buy alcohol, you got to show your ID. If you want to buy cigarettes, show your ID. And then you want to watch porn, show your ID. Yep. So get your ID, and then that's it. I don't understand why it's ever been another way possible. It just makes sense. It makes no sense to me. So.
Yes. And
what I don't like is all of these different platforms are making it, especially OnlyFans. Okay, they're the worst. They're making it impossible to upload. They want their release. So they all want their own releases. Okay. So instead of a generic release like we used to do, a model release form at a 2257, everybody wants their own release. So imagine going to set and saying to somebody, could you please sign my OnlyFans, my loyal fans, my many vids, my I want clips, forget it. So that's why a lot of my content is just, it's just me alone. I'm not even going to bother anymore. And on OnlyFans, you can now, even if you agreed to collaborate with somebody for free, okay?
I think I just saw that
the article
with a new collaboration release form.
Well, yeah. Oh, there's a new form. Oh, okay. Now they have a form. So there used to be that if you collaborate with somebody and then you just tag them, like if I tag, Max Fills is in my video. So at Max Fills and Coralyn Jewel, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Any given point, all Max has to say is to OnlyFans. This is only on their platform so far, from what I understand. I don't want that content up. And then they'll remove it, regardless of the agreement that you two made together in a collaboration or whatever. So now they're telling you have to get release forms for all that kind of stuff too. It's just crazy.
Yeah, because I just got the email from MiniVids that they were doing the same thing.
Oh, also, so now, yeah, I used to stuff like that's why all my platforms now. I mean, I'm barely uploading any more new stuff because it's a pain in the ass with all the paperwork, and then you can't even. You have to upload these release forms separately, so it's a nightmare. It's just gotten to be an absolute pain in the ass, honestly.
Oh yeah, and MiniVids just asked me to take one of my videos down, which has been up there for 3.5 years. Because
really?
They said that one of the performance faces was too blurry. And
boy.
And I was like, all the release paperwork was up there. I was like, and they're like, and it's like, oh, you just take it down just so they don't fuck with the page.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Yeah, like I said, it's gotten to the point. So there's another site. It's called Sheer. When I was in Spain, they were talking about that, and it's like a Pornhub or an X videos, but apparently you upload to Sheer and Sheer takes care of putting it on all of those platforms. So I was like, oh, wonderful, perfect. And I had written them and said, what if somebody that you work with is already on here? Can you just tag them or do you still have to do all the paperwork again? No, you can just tag them. So I set up a whole platform. Bullshit. Nope. They want the paperwork to everything again. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. So I think my profile is just sitting there, but I'm like, no ways. There's too many different profiles, too many platforms too.
Oh yeah.
So
the market seems the platform market seems really saturated now.
It's totally saturated. There's there's webcam market than the platforms, but and they're all these different platforms, and I've tried them, but this is what I always say to people. If somebody wants a Starbucks coffee and you say to them, oh, there's a Pete's right there. And they're like, I want Starbucks. And I'm like, but you're just getting a coffee. A coffee's a coffee. Who fucking cares? Right. But if somebody wants, but like on OnlyFans, like I had an OnlyFans account. This is my second or third one because I just canceled them because I can't deal. But I told all my fans on there, I had like 1,000. I said, I will give all of you 3 free months, no credit card required. Come to Loyal Fans. Come over and check out a platform that gives a shit about the performers. And out of 1,000, 2 came. 2. Okay. And then when I went back to OnlyFans and said on my page, now they're all coming back. There you are. I'm like, you motherfuckers. Like, why won't you come over to the other side? They want what they want. If you like OnlyFans, you like OnlyFans. If you like ManyVids, you only go to ManyVids, and so on and so on. So that's why
the loyalty to Coke or Pepsi or any other.
Yeah, so I guess that's why I feel like we have to be on these different platforms, because if I tell somebody, oh, but I have a Loyal Fans, they go, oh, you don't have an OnlyFans? And I'm like, it's the same thing. It's the same damn thing. Come over there. But they won't.
Yeah, and then I had friends of mine in the stand-up comedy world give them a shit. And then they're like, and then one of my stand-up comedian friends was just like, I got myself an OnlyFans. And I'm like, why? They're like, because they have a mainstream OnlyFans now.
Well, it's always been. I mean, I guess it started as the adult industry, but there's, OnlyFans. Everybody has an OnlyFans. I mean, what blows my mind is so I work for another company, and it's an autograph company, and the photographer that they have, she was talking about her OnlyFans, and she goes, yeah, my OnlyFans only making me enough to just cover my rent. Now she lives in Los Angeles. So I kind of like go, you have an OnlyFans? And she goes, yeah. And I go, what do you put on it? And she goes, just, pictures. I'm like, naked or nude or masturbating or anything? And she goes, no, God, no. Like, just do out and about. And I'm like, what is it? What, do you do any nudity? She's like, no. I'm like, so you have an OnlyFans, but how do you get, I'm boggled. Like, how do you get fans? How are you paying your rent? She's in Los Angeles, so rent's like $3,000 a month.
So rent's like $1 million.
So yeah, so she says, oh yeah, my OnlyFans is just covering my rent. And I'm thinking, my OnlyFans is covering like a week of groceries. That's it. So I'm doing something wrong. But you see, she's just some random girl who's a photographer who decided to set up an OnlyFans page. Blows my mind.
Oh, yes.
So it's interesting.
So what advice would you give to people thinking about or being newcomers in the industry at this point?
In all honesty, I would not recommend anybody to get into this industry, because this industry it's a constant evolving industry. It's changing and it's getting worse and it's getting harder and it's getting oversaturated. Okay. So I wouldn't say to get in. However, I mean, I coach people getting into the industry because I want people to do it right if you're going to get in. So if you're going to get in, I tell people, find your niche. Okay. You've got to find your niche. So, your niche, like what's going to make you different from the other 1,000 MILFs out there, or the other, cosplay or whatever it is. What's going to make you unique and different? Consistency. It's so important for consistency. And also it's really important that you know that whatever you shoot or put on the internet, okay, that's out there forever. So an example is like there's a company called what are they called? Facial abuse. Okay,
I know them. I think they are my neck of the woods actually.
Okay, I think, were they in Vegas? I'm not sure, but facial abuse is I'm now again, everybody's got their own, their own niche, their own content, but I won't shoot with them just because what they shoot to me is very derogatory. However, like my friend Cindy Crawford has shot, they pay very well, and Cindy shot with them, and she goes, but it's fake, and she's telling me, and so I had to go watch it to see, and they apparently you drink like milkshakes in between, and then you're throwing up the milkshakes. You're being forced to lick the milkshakes up off the floor. They're beating the crap out of you. You're and it looks awful. You're some of the girls are crying.
Even though I've watched a few of them, even though some of that is steak, that looks like a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of, as I'm saying, it's a lot of work. And then the thing is that, even though she may say, it's fake or whatever, that bites you in your ass later on, because somebody else might meet you and be like, okay, I'm okay with you being a porn star, but like, wow, like you did that? Like you let somebody, degrade you like that? So I always tell people, just know what you're shooting, know what you're going to shoot out there. Do your due diligence on agents versus no agent, networking, going to these events, meeting the right people. And remember, own what you do. Own it, because it's going to follow you forever. So it's out there forever.
Yeah.
So
For example, I've had a few people in the last year tell me, your podcast would go so much forever if you weren't the comic book and porn podcast. And I'm like, excuse me?
Wait. You
realize I started with everything by being a guest on the Howard Stern show, losing my virginity.
Wait a second. Stars. That's really, I didn't know that. That's so cool. But tell me what people would say. They'd say your podcast would go.
They said my podcast would be a lot more successful
if
I didn't cater to the cosplay and pornographic elements.
Oh, that's what they. Well, that's. Okay,
and then I told them, I was like, well, this is America. It's my choice. This is what I do, and if you don't like it, it's fucking.
Don't listen.
There's like 9 million other things that you can watch.
Yeah,
you can watch people dance on TikTok. You can go get recipes.
Again, you found your niche, right? You found what you enjoy doing. And people who want to learn and learn about cosplay, listen to the adult industry performers, then they come listen to you. Yeah, I mean, I used to but people used to give me advice like that on my swingers club. They used to say stuff like, you could be so good if like you picture submitted and didn't allow people like that to be in here or that person to be in here. And I was like, really? Let me walk you to the door. Like, what the fuck?
I told one person, I said, I am the only podcast that can get the creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on one episode and then get Rebecca Love on the episode after that. So
right? That's so cool. That's so cool.
Who
did you lose your virginity to? I have a question. I didn't know that.
Yeah, basically it was Howard Stern. It was 2003. It was Carissa Kisses, who's no longer in the industry, and Rebecca.
Okay.
Love.
Oh my God, that's so crazy. And you were on Howard Stern's show because of it?
Yeah. I called them up back in 2003, and I got this very long message because I was just about to turn 30 at the time.
Okay.
I'm 30. I'm blind. I'm pathetic. I don't want to die being a pathetic virgin. Can you guys? And I went on for 6 or 7 minutes until the answer machine beep cut me off.
Okay.
And I'm giving my phone number throughout the message. But maybe 2-3 days later, the phone rings. My grandmother, God rest her soul, picks it up. Adam, I think this calls for you.
Oh my my
And the
God.
producer of the stereo go, "Are you the blonde guy who's looking for sex?"
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's hysterical. And can you imagine, did your grandmother say, like, when did she ask who was calling or no? Because I can just see her now.
And then she
Howard
and she
Stern's
goes,
on the phone.
no, I think she goes to me, was that really the Howard Stern show or one of your friends playing a joke? So I think
That's
was
so
her exact
crazy.
words.
That's so cool. So then, like, they actually called you back and then you went on the show.
Yeah, after it took about maybe 2 months
That is
to
so
actually
cool.
get
That's so
everything,
awesome.
all the ducks in a row.
You know what? That just tells people out there, you can always, don't think that you can't make anything happen, because you can make something, you just got to be, you got to be persistent and you can make something happen. I mean, that's pretty cool that they called you back. That's neat.
Yeah, and then the first time around, they tried to get me on the show. There was a wildfire, really bad wildfire in California, and the 2 porn stars they booked couldn't make it.
Okay.
So they said, they'll tie me over. They said, we're going to keep the bit because we love this idea. They sent me to a movie premiere of Masters and Commandos.
Okay.
And that was my first time out to California, which was okay. I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with Los Angeles.
Oh, I hate Los Angeles with a passion. It's awful. It's disgusting.
Back when I wanted to, during my early days, I had stars in the eyes and moved out there for 6 months and came home with my tail between my legs.
No, it's awful, awful. And I don't recommend it. If anybody's listening and they're thinking, I've got to move to California and move to LA to chase my life for a career in porn, no, don't move. It's awful. It's awful. And it's gotten so bad. It's so, the homeless and the prices, and it's so dirty and gross. It's awful. Ugh.
I guess it's just as bad as New York now, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's even worse. I live 2 hours, give or take, from LA. So I live, far enough, close enough that I can go to work there if I need to, far enough away that I don't have to be there. So
I'm not at a point where I go out there maybe once a year, if that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I don't recommend it at all. I mean, I'm even to the point, like, if I get hired for a shoot and they, I go, what's the pay? And then they tell me and I go, no, I'm not going to do it. And they're like, are you crazy? And I'm like, no, I'm not crazy, because it's a 3-hour drive there with traffic. It's a 3-hour drive back. It's 3 hours or more on set, plus the cost of my testing now. And then all, nah, it's not worth my time. It breaks down to be $25 an hour or something. I don't want to do it. So it's crazy.
Yeah, testing isn't cheap.
Not anymore. No, they keep adding stuff to it.
I just saw that. At least you have an option of choices in LA versus New York when it comes to testing facilities.
Yeah, well, I mean, from what I understand, it's either talent testing or cutting edge, I guess, right? But what I wish they would do, and this is like a huge thing to me, and I don't understand why we don't, is talent testing should collaborate with the lab, with the actual lab testing places like Quest Lab or LabCorp, not the urgent cares that don't draw blood on a daily basis, because I've had so many issues where the urgent cares can't get the needle and, they can't get blood from me, and they go, oh, well, we're only allowed to poke you 3 times. Sorry, you'll have to come back tomorrow. That's not an option in our industry. It's go get tested. The next day you get your test, then you go shoot. It's not a come back tomorrow and try again. So if they would do the LabCorps or the Quest Labs, I think it would make it a lot more accessible for everybody all over the country.
Oh, yeah.
Because those are everywhere, and they know how to draw blood.
Very true. Like I said, I think it depends. My first time I ever shot something, I was having issues finding a testing place. And I just called up the performer I was working with. I said, can I use my regular doctor if he does everything that you want done? I can have him test everything you want done. She's like, sure. So I just let my doctor do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. Like, if you're collaborating with someone, you both are on a different, like, on a trust level or whatever. The thing that people have to realize is that the normal doctor, your regular primary doctor, that takes about 7 days to get back to you. And so the industry, it's even in the industry, you go, well, what did you do in those 7 days, right? Who did you have sex with in those 7 days? And nothing is foolproof. I mean,
yep.
Diseases lay dormant in your system, and then you don't have it this round, but you have it the next round or whatever. Yeah. So now there are some online testing places that I have used, like I think it's called like stdtesting.com. Okay. Where you buy your test online. It's the exact same test as the adult industry, half the price. you go into a LabCorp, again, someone who can draw your blood. You give, you get the paperwork, they test, and you get your results back the next day. So it's just like talent testing, but you can go to a LabCorp and it's half the price. So that's if some industries will, if some production companies would accept that, that would be helpful to people that are in different areas of the country.
That would be amazing. What advice would you give to male talent or male producers new to casting female talent?
New to casting female talent is you better make sure that you do everything by the book, okay? And then make sure that people that you have worked with will give you, verified comments on like sexy jobs saying, I shot with this photographer or this producer. He was safe, he was professional, stuff like that. So, and then make sure that you do, I'll give you an example. So when you're on set now, like now what they make you do is they have the video camera out and you say, did you come here on your own choice? Yes, I did. Are you under drugs and alcohol? No, I'm not. Did you agree? Did anybody on the set abuse you or make you feel uncomfortable in any way? No, they didn't. Did you get paid what you were promised to get paid? Yes, I did. Could you please tell us what you got? Can you please tell us that you confirmed how much you got paid or whatever? And so everything is done verbally and like on a video and saved, because so many people go back and say, oh, they didn't pay me, or oh, they abused me on their set, or so make sure that you do everything by the book.
It's not simple enough. Thank you. I now learned something more to add to the repertoire of that, because I'm just learning that game as well now.
Yeah, it's so important that you just make sure you cover your ass. It's the same thing like it's for the producer too, because like the girl can go down, she can leave the shoot, go downstairs, and then her pimp can come back up and say you didn't pay her the amount of money. She said, you only gave her $400, not the $800 or whatever it is. And then he can say, no, here's the video with her just saying she got everything, so.
Yeah. All right. Cool. This is one of the things that's near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
How do we get more people with disabilities into the industry if possible?
So it depends on, again, what side of the camera they want to be on, right? So you and I were talking about this earlier with the technology and AI and how that's all playing a role now, right? On the back side of the camera, not performing, there's so many different variations and aspects that are coming in that might make it more accessible to people with different disabilities. And it depends too on the disability and what it is that you want to do within the industry, because I think honestly anybody can perform, right? So you can perform blind, you can perform deaf, you can perform with one leg, you can perform with no legs, right? You can perform, because there's a niche for everything. And there's a, what do I call it? It's like people have their, like, I taught a class on this not too long ago, but between kink and fetish, right? And whereas a kink would be like something that you enjoy incorporating into your sexual so you don't need it to have an orgasm, but you enjoy adding it to add spice to your sex life. Okay, so maybe wax play or something. Whereas a fetish is more something that you need that in order to get turned on and reach that euphoric experience, such as foot fetish, or I'm going with the more regular ones, foot fetish, or like.
I'll give you an example. I found out recently that I may have a little bit of a food fetish.
Okay, but like you don't need food.
But I don't need it.
You don't need it to reach orgasm, right? Yeah. But it's kind of a turn on to have it incorporated into a sexual experience as a fantasy or something like that. So that's the difference. So, so to go back to disabilities, people are turned on by different things, because I was talking about, oh crap, I'm going to have my spinal fusion and I'm not going to be able to do anything anymore, and I'm not going to perform anymore. And somebody goes, hey, people might just like you just being a gimp girl on your back. And I'm like, shut up, but so that's true, And so when I was teaching this class, there was the turn-ons of a tree trunk or ladybugs. It was just like, what the, but again, working as a performer, I think it doesn't matter on your disability. You can do anything you want. Working on the other side, that's going to depend on technology, camera, stuff like that. So,
yes, I mean, I'm at the point where I one of my last shoots I did, which will not see the light of day because before I started uploading everything, the performer wanted to back out, and I just gave her right in front of her. I said, "Okay, I'll delete everything."
Did you pay her for her time?
It was a free collab, thank God.
Okay, so, but still, again, this is why we do all the why we have to have like extra. It's like extra paperwork upon paperwork, because at any given time, people back out. People, go against their word. Nobody's word is their word anymore. That's for freaking sure.
Yeah, but I wound up eating about $150 out of my pocket because I paid for someone to help me set the cameras up just right. So that's
right.
why
And you took your time. You took time out of your day to be at the shoot where you could have been doing something else that was making money. So
yeah, or I could have been doing an extra podcast or reaching out to making a jackass out of myself on Twitter or X or whatever.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's just like, nowadays, don't trust anybody's word. I just had somebody ask me earlier. I mean, he's been webcamming with me for years. And he said, is it okay if I give you an Amazon gift card? And I go, not really what I'm going to do, but I'll make an exception, right? Okay, I'll get that for you tomorrow. What time are you going to be ready? And I went, oh, hell no.
That's not a red flag right there.
I was like, I'm sorry. I'm not that I don't trust you, but I trust nobody. So nope, there's no IOUs here for webcam shows anymore. I've done it before where I've like agreed for a regular, like, okay, I'll do your show and then you can pay me to, tomorrow or next week or whatever. And I end up going, where's the payment? Where's the payment? Where's the payment? And now a friendship's gone and I've lost a client,
Yeah.
So nobody don't take anybody's word. Nobody's word means anything anymore. Write it all down.
That's why I have a few people in the industry who I'm friends with, and I'm just in my head when I think about casting. I was like, so I need is for something to go wrong with this particular person, and then I lose almost a 20-year friendship. Nothing.
Yeah, it's for sure. So just then if you're going to get into the industry, disability, no disability, just everything. Follow the book and stay up to speed with the latest laws. Join xbiz.net, which is for the industry. Read the articles that are coming out, and stay up to, with the different age verification laws and paperwork and this and that, and the testing that, they just added the MGEN test and all this kind of stuff. So you just got to know what's going on.
Stuff. Like I said, I took one of the tricks I learned from stand-up comedy and adapted it to the podcast.
Okay.
I figure since I can't, it's a more of an audio cues of time management versus visual.
There you go. Yeah.
So, where do you see the industry going in the next 3 to 5 years at this point?
Scary to shit, I think, honestly. I really do.
The other industry, it seems like lately.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not impressed with where things are going right now because production companies are closing. Because here's the thing: is that it used to be you had an agent, you got it, you went to set, there was a production company, you shot, you got DVD box cover, it went in a store, it got sold. Right now, everything's internet, everything's free, and everything's stolen, and it's a constant battle to DMCA complaint. And we have, honestly, I hate to say it, but we have the fans to blame because they're supporting these free sites. They're watching the free stuff, So they go, oh, you can't webcam with me right now, Coralyn? It's okay. Okay. I'll just go to your Pornhub and watch one of your videos. And I'm like, why don't you go to my OnlyFans or my loyal fans or my many clips or, and why don't you buy a $5 video? Just support me as a performer, but they don't because they can get it for free out there. So I just think that that's going to continue to make this industry a nightmare.
You see, the only time I've ever done anything for free if it's someone I never heard of before, that I'm like, for someone like you or Katie Morgan or someone I've known for years, I have no problem paying for it $5, $10, $15, $20.
Right.
Every now and then it's like, I never heard of this person before. It's like, before I spend a dime, I just want to see 2 seconds.
That's where I will give that's where I'll give the good side. It said, I do have fans that will come to me and say, hey, I found you on Pornhub. I love your work. what's your, they'll come to my Twitter, what's your OnlyFans? So I do have fans that find those sites first and then come to me and then go to my paid content. But for the most part, and then when I shoot like production, like a Private Society, that's, I shot with them, I'll have people that will say to me, I found you on Private Society, then I found your Pornhub page, then I found your OnlyFans. So it all kind of collapsed, but it's a good thing for fans to know that a lot of us, the Pornhub pages and the X videos pages, like I have a page on both of those, but I have to have millions and millions of clicks to make anything.
Wow. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. And because I'm the only person who goes to like an event and to get actual physical DVD signed from back in the day.
Right.
And people were just like, wow.
Well, those are the days. I mean, I think I've made like, I don't know, 25 box covers or something. And that's like exciting. And now it's, there's no, you can't make a box cover if it's just internet. I made internet cover. I mean,
yeah.
So yeah, I don't like where the industry's gone. It's really sad. It's upsetting.
Yep. What advice would you give to someone visiting either LA or Vegas for their first time, and they're expecting to see what they see on TV and movies?
And they're expecting what?
They're expecting to see what they see on the glam, the glitz of the
Yeah. So honestly, don't go to LA, period. Really don't. If you have to go, it's not a vacation place. It's not a vacation place anymore. If you go to LA, what advice would I give you? Know the areas to be in, where's safe and where's not safe. And that's hard now because nothing's really safe anymore. Okay. Go see, Rodeo Drive, it's just not LA anymore. Hollywood's yuck. It's dirty. It's gross. It's, it's not same. Now, Vegas advice. Vegas is different. I still think Vegas is a great place. I like Vegas a lot. I think Vegas is a definite go to travel and see. Again, watch your back. And then there's scammers everywhere. If somebody on the sidewalk, when you're walking the strip, has a CD and they're clapping their CD in their hands and they give you that CD and say, here's a free CD.
That's when you take the CD, you throw it on the ground and you say,
no, just don't
stuff isn't on YouTube yet.
As soon as you take it, then they want $10 from you. The girls dressed up in their showgirl costumes. Take a picture with me. Take a picture with me. The minute you take a picture with them, then they want $20 for the picture. So
that's cheaper than New York.
So just walk. Just go check out the strip. Go do your thing. Don't touch anybody's CD. Don't take the clicking cards of the prostitutes and stuff like that. Just go see the sites.
Or don't be a moron. Try to collect the prostitute cards like their baseball cards, like someone who's gonna stay nameless did.
They're all over the floor. Pick them up.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to buy any prostitutes, but I was.
Yeah, we got to tell them though. If you do hire a prostitute, I promise you, it's not going to be the girl that was on the card. Okay, so
exactly.
Know that. Yeah.
But I just wanted a stack of cards to bring home to show all my friends back in New York.
Right.
Because I sent them a video from Fremont Street, and I was like, yeah, it's just like Times Square, nothing special.
Yeah. But again, Fremont, Fremont Street has the light show in the sky, which is really cool. And what I like about the old Vegas, which is, kind of going away, again, everybody's changing everything, is that, excuse me, I loved that each hotel had a theme. So, New York was really like you were in New York, or Paris was like you were in Paris, right? And now there's just hotels that are coming in that are just like modern hotels. And what happened to the fun themes? Like I like the Venetian because you feel like you're in Italy with the gondolas and everything. So I definitely say Vegas is a place to visit. LA, you can just skip it. Just don't go.
Yes, even as a mainstream film fan, I was not impressed with that. I was not impressed with downtown Hollywood.
It's gross, and it's so much worse. I'm telling you. When was the last time you were there? It's so bad.
2018.
Yeah, no, after the pandemic, let me put it this way. I was just getting back into the industry in 2020. It was February 2020. They had just talked about this bird flu. Okay. And I was in Chinatown, and I was, and they said it came from China and somebody eating a bird in China, and whatever, the bat in China. And yep. I had said to my friend who I was with, I was like, I didn't know that you lived by Skid Row. Skid Row used to be the one area with all the homeless tents. Okay. And yep. He goes, no, honey, this is not Skid Row. And I went, what? And he goes, This is like what LA looks like now. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Okay. Well, then after the pandemic, take what I saw there and times it by everywhere. There's just homeless tents everywhere. It's sad. It's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Do not recommend it.
Where can the audience find you online?
For me, the easiest thing is always to go to my website, which is easy. It's the Coralyn Jewel, CORALYN, and Jewel, JEWEL.com. Because from there, you can go to my podcast site, which is embraceyoursexuality.net. You can find my Twitter, my different OnlyFans, loyal fans, many vids, because people are always canceling our social media things. So I always say, go to my website because I run it, I own it, and nobody's canceling it. And from there, you can see what I've got going on everywhere else. And I post my tour schedule there as well. Discounts to different swingers websites are there. And I try to do my best of saying you can join my newsletter, which is free. And I'm supposed to do that once a month. I don't. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I get it out to you when I think there's news to share. Like I should probably tell everybody that I'm having surgery. But I don't spam for sure, and I don't sell them anybody's personal information. So that's ready to go. ThatCoralynJewel.com.
Awesome. And do you still offer any of the coaching things that you're known for?
Correct. So I still offer. If you go to my website, I still, you can hire me for shooting. You can hire me for coaching. I do 2 different kinds of things that I specialize in. One is coaching people into the lifestyle. Okay. Or if you're in the lifestyle and you're having difficulty or navigation and you need some guidance, I work with that. And then I also work with people getting involved into the adult industry. So a lot of what we talked about, where to find work, how to find work, the do's, the don'ts, the rules, the regulations, the paperwork, stuff like that. Again, on my website. And then I do my seminars, that I was traveling and doing, but not for like a while now because I'm going to be having a major surgery. But my seminars are all about embracing your sexuality and embracing who you are as a person. So
that's awesome, and I will keep you in my thoughts and my prayers. And I
thank
wish
you,
you
Rylan.
best of luck with the surgery.
Thank you. Yes, hopefully.
I just want to thank you for we've known each other now for almost 5 years, give or take.
I know. Wow, we're getting old. It's crazy. It's crazy. I saw a post on Facebook. It said, you know how they do the memories?
Yep.
And it was sitting outside Chili's Bar and Grill restaurant with the whole cast from the movie Adam and Eve with Luke Wilder. Okay. It was on our way home or on our way there. I can't remember. And we stopped to eat. And I posted the picture on it and I tagged Luke and I go, 10 years. It's been 10 years since we did that. It's crazy.
Time flies.
Time flies. Thank you for having me on the show. I really
appreciate it. This was a pleasure.
Thank you, honey. And yep, if anybody wants to get a hold of me, thecoralynjewel.com. But I will be out of commission October 24th, my birthday, getting final fusion surgery, and I'm guessing out of commission at least 2 weeks of like typing or anything like that, and then another 8 weeks of whatever. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, the best of luck, and we will be in touch. And you have a great night.
Thank you, honey. Appreciate you having me. Bye.
Yep. Well, everybody, that is another episode of Awesome Sauce Radio. I thank you all for tuning in tonight. I thank you all for the friendship, love, and support. And if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Smash that like button, as they say, Hulk style. And know that you don't need sight to have the vision. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do about it. Always keep one foot in the gutter, one fist in the goal. I love you all, blind them out. You can always find me at X at the Comic Pimp, Instagram at the Real Blind Adam, mini vids at Blind Adam, whatnot at Comic VIP, eBay at Blind Adam. I love you all, blind them out.
Banner land button skipped. Edit clickable pause button clickable end stream button end stream button not yet button end stream.